Alright guys, welcome back to another Zenless Zone 0 update video. For those who followed the channel this last week, we've covered a lot of big news. We got the 1.4 banner character details, the fact that we might be getting a free S-rank Haramasa, new events, and a bunch of massive changes and quality of life incoming for the 1.4 update. And now for this video, I want to cover one of these new major changes in detail, which are the new ultimate changes being added in the 1.4 update. So in 1.4, if you guys didn't know, characters will now have separate decibel meters for the ultimates, and the characters will also generate different amount for themselves and teammates, which can leave a lot of questions, especially on how this is going to work and the overall impact on the game. So we will go over all the new details about these new changes in this video. And if you guys want to keep being updated on everything Zenless, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also put those notifications on to be updated right away whenever we get any more news about this game. But alright guys, let's get into it and cover all the new details about these changes, because the 1.4 update is looking to be like the biggest update so far. We're getting a ton of new stuff, getting a complete rework to early chapters. Almost all characters are going to be added to the overworld exploration, which is pretty nice. We're also going to be getting Zenless Zone 0 launching on the Xbox consoles, which is pretty massive. And we're also going to be getting free characters with different patch and banner duration. And of course, major features like individual ults being added to this patch. So let's go into detail about what this is all about exactly, about the new 1.4 ultimate changes. Alright, so here's a bunch of info on the 1.4 ultimate changes. So here it says, as of version 1.4, all characters will now have separate decibel meters, and characters will both generate different amount of decibels for themselves and their teammates. When the ultimate is ready, a small ultimate icon will now appear next to the character's energy meter, which is going to be useful to tell you when one of your standby characters have the ultimate, so you can then swap out and use their ult. And here it also says, there appears to be no cooldown on using ultimates, nor is there any changes to the ultimate decibel cost. So the ultimate decibel cost is going to be the same. The only thing that's going to change is the meter in which you get the ultimate for the character that you're playing and your characters on standby. And the good thing is we're not going to have any cooldowns. Now of course this will impact a lot of characters, and here it's specifically referring to Miyabi's 4th Mindscape. There are now new effects such as Miyabi's 4th Mindscape, which grant only her 250 decibels when she uses the Frostburn effect when she breaks a target. So if you get her 4th Mindscape, she's going to be getting a huge ultimate boost. And also it says they are unsure on how the off-field decibel gain is split. Hopefully, with the more info I found, we can see what this is exactly later in this video. However, all characters now have the second decibel gain value equal to 1.285x their original decibel gain value. So that was all the base information that we had on the 1.4 ultimate changes, and after looking around, I found some info giving us clarification on the additional decibel meter. So here it says, as of 1.4, every character decibel gain has been buffed by 1.2 times. On-field characters gain 100% of the attack's decibels, where off-field characters will now gain 50% of that attack's decibels. So there we go, this clears up how much our off-field characters will be gaining. We even have a comparison to the current decibel gain from on-field characters to off-field characters. So on-field, the decibel gain will be 128.5%, and the off-field decibel gain is pretty much half, giving us 64.25%. It also says here that additional decibel gain effects, such as things like attribute anomaly, interrupt, chain attack, things like that, also follow this split. The decibel gain from these effects has not been buffed so far. And for those who want to convert the values accurately, the new decibel value for all characters is exactly this number right here. So for those who want to do the math, this could be useful. This is the full number of the new decibel value gain. So yeah guys, this confirms it. The decibel gain value for off-field characters is split by 50%. Before, we really didn't have that info, so hopefully this clears things up for you guys. And I also want to go back and cover this piece of info right here, saying how the effects like Attribute Anomaly will now give added ultimate energy, which made people think that Anomaly characters will generate much more decibels than a stun team, for example. But it turns out that this is not the case. With the new info here that came out today, it says each chain attack generates about 10 decibels in addition to an extra 10 for the additional effect of chain attack appearing in the top left. We even have an example of this to give further clarification. So Zuyan, right now her chain attack gives about 171 decibels, Nicole chain attack gives about 169, and Ellen Jo's chain attack generates a little bit more, 211. So it's not all the same across the board, and since these chain attacks are character abilities, they also got buffed by this new change. So the 1.2885 multiplier that got added into the game, this means each attack will get that buff and will now be around 200 to 250 decibels no matter what character it is. Well, it's minimum 200 and 250 plus depending on the character. All that to say, the difference isn't going to be all that big. Sure, maybe some teams might have a slight edge when it comes to getting their ultimates faster, but it's nothing too crazy and nothing to doom post about. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of these new major changes for the 1.4 update. Are you guys a fan of having individual ults, or do you think you'd prefer it the way it is now? And for me, I would say personally, I think it's a pretty good change, as I'm pretty much spamming the same ultimate on my same character all the time. Mostly you want to always use the ultimate with the most attack on your attack character, but now this will provide more usefulness to your support characters or other characters on your team, having individual ults, so this could bring more value to some other characters, especially characters that rely on their ultimates and have pretty good ones to support the team. But yeah guys, this pretty much concludes all the new info on the ultimate changes for 1.4. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, I really want to know. And if you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Put those notifications on. I'll always try to cover anything about Zenless Zone 0 as soon as possible. We've had quite the last 2 weeks with a bunch of info coming out back to back with the 1.4 beta. And it's still currently ongoing. We're getting new stuff every single day, so I'm going to keep you guys updated on that on the channel. But for now guys, that is pretty much all for today. Thank you guys for watching, really appreciate the support and everyone who come back to watch my videos, really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one.